This is Friedrich Trump.
Guten Tag.
He was born in Karlstadt, Germany in 1869. At age 16, he moved to the United States, and in 1891 arrived in Seattle. So this building right behind us on the corner of 2nd and Washington was called the Poodle Dog. When Friedrich Trump first moved to Seattle, he bought this building for about $600. He changed the name to the Dairy Restaurant, and ran the first floor as a restaurant, and the second floor he advertised private rooms for ladies.
Fancy.
So he was running a restaurant/brothel right here.
It's so nice. I'd totally pay for sex there.
In 1892, he was filled with patriotism for his adopted homeland, and he decided to become a U.S. citizen.
That's easy.
So he went into the courts, he filed the paperwork, became a U.S. citizen, and he changed his name from Friedrich Trump to Friedrich Trump.
Oh, see now? Okay.
This guy is the grandfather of this guy.
In 1893, there was a silver and gold strike in the small town of Monte Cristo, Washington, about 75 miles north of Seattle. Monte Cristo is a ghost town now, but in the 1890s, it was a bustle with activity of miners coming out here looking to make their fortune. Friedrich Trump was drawn to this adventure and came up here, filed a land claim, and opened up a boarding house/brothel on the premises. Problem was, the boarding house and brothel he built was on someone else's land claim, a man named Rudebeck, which made him a claim jumper. In order to solve this problem, he took out an adjacent claim to where the boarding house was and then filed back paperwork to try to make it seem like the boarding house had been on his land the entire time. In order to legitimize this claim, he took out a listing with the R.L. Polkin Company of Friedrich Trump Real Estate. Problem was, Friedrich Trump Real Estate did not exist. It was a fake company in order to legitimize this claim. This small act of fraud was the Trump family's first entrance into real estate in the United States.
Then the Klondike Gold Rush hits up in Alaska and the Yukon Territory. So he decides he's going to head up to the Great White North and try to establish another business up there where he can make more money from the miners.
Okay.
And what business does he know? In the Klondike Gold Rush, he opened 2 new brothels, the Arctic Restaurant and Hotel at Bennett Lake and the new Arctic Restaurant and Hotel at Whitehorse. So he is in his mid-20s and he has opened up 4 successful brothels at this point.
Make the Klondike great.
Friedrich Trump tried to return to Germany, but since he was gone for so long, he was viewed as a draft-dodging illegal immigrant and deported to the United States. But Germany doesn't want him back.
Well, nobody does.
He left when he was 16, and now he's returning when he's 35. Germany at the time had mandatory military conscription, so all young men were required to serve in the military.
Okay.
But he left when he was 16, when he was too young to serve, and now he's returning when he's 35 and too old to serve. Unable to return to Germany, Friedrich moved to New York. And he had about $20,000 that he'd made running these businesses over the years, which is the equivalent of about $500,000 today.
Wow.
Yeah, so he starts taking that money and investing in real estate in New York. Unfortunately, he was not able to live to see his real estate investments come to fruition. In 1918, he died during the Spanish flu epidemic, but his wife Elizabeth and son Fred took over those investments. They started operating that business under the name Elizabeth Trump and Son, and that later went on to become the Trump Organization, LLC.
Oh.
And Fred Trump grew that organization to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And today, of course, the Trump Organization, LLC is worth billions of dollars.
Yes, it is.
And now young Friedrich's grandson is running for president.
America!
America.
America.
In his 1987 book, The Art of the Deal, Donald Trump lied about his heritage and said that his paternal grandfather came from Sweden, not Germany.